All right, and welcome to Let's Talk with Natalie. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today we have a very special guest and a very important person to the community of music, of rap, of everything that you could possibly think of that I feel is close and dear to my heart. So I want y'all to give a warm welcome to our guest today. How are you today? Tell
I'm good. I'm good.
everybody your name.
I go by Loquita. I'm a rapper, singer, songwriter, signed under Midget Loco with Still Banging Music back home in LA. I'm also a mentor and a prison rights activist here in San Antonio.
Yeah. And just for the women, okay, let me rephrase that. For the younger women, tell
Yeah,
them how old you are.
44.
Woo.
Oh, about to be 44.
Listen, tell them. They better hope they look this good when they get our age.
Hey, for real, man.
Hey, man. So you're from
It's all that
LA.
makeup they be wearing nowadays.
Telling
All
you,
that contouring.
telling you, we ain't gonna know what's under
Hey,
10 years from now.
we had that little chola waist back in the days when I got a little older. I was like, damn, that's just messing up my skin. So I could just imagine what it is for these youngsters. They
Well,
be all bad.
but you're from LA, right? And
Originally,
you've lived in several places, but you reside in San Antonio, my city,
yes,
so
ma'am.
all love. And what platforms can everybody find you on?
You can find me on Instagram under Loquita, Locita underscore still banging music. So it's STEEL banging and then music with the CK at the end. And then let me see, because I don't even know all the. And then on TikTok, you can find me under I'm sorry, official LOCITA underscore SBM.
Hey,
And then
y'all
you
go
can find me on
follow.
Facebook. Actually, you could just Google LOCITA, Still Banging Music, and all my links will come up because you
Y'all
can
go
find me on
follow.
YouTube, SoundCloud, Reverb Nation, number one music,
Right. Y'all
Spotify.
go bang them rula, man. Just everything.
Yeah.
Download, all of that. Show love, man. Show support. And so
Yeah.
today I invited you on, and as we know, this season we're doing women empowerment.
Yeah.
Such a huge thing. And I love and admire everything that you do in the community, all the movements that you are a part of. Man, everything, especially like on TikTok, man, you be going hard talking to them girls, man. I love it
Oh,
because it's so hard to find women that are so real and so raw and give it to you just the way it should be, because I feel
yeah.
like somewhere along the line, the moms and the grandmas stopped doing it, man. They stopped
Yeah.
being hard on little girls. And I mean, we're with this problem now, with our generation now. These little girls, man, I
Yeah.
feel like they need a lot of guidance. And I'm just, curious to know, what is your definition of women empowerment? What does that mean to you?
Women empowerment to me is women that have something to give back to the other women that are out there that have been through some kind of struggles or that have gone through things in life that like with me personally, I feel like I've been through a lot of dark situations in my life. So I hope that in the hopes of me doing stuff like this, I hope to shed the light on the next person's darkness. So it's kind of like we're all birthed with purpose, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like our purpose is actually our life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we go through, even if we don't understand it at the time, if we go through them hard times, one day we're going to be able to look back and it's all going to make sense because there's going to be people put in our path that are going to need what we've been through or the words that we learned or the wisdom we learned through going through that same situation. And we might be their lifeline, you know what I mean? So it's us women speaking into each other's lives. It's always good to have accountability partners where when you're starting from where you're at in life, it's good where people pick and be like, hey, get it right. Like, what are you doing? Think about what you're doing. Or,
That's right.
not people that applaud you when you're doing bad or applaud you when you're falling. Some people, women that'll hold you up like Moses and Aaron, you know what I'm saying? Aaron held up
Man,
Moses' arms, and that's what we need in life. Other women to encircle ourselves with women like that, you
man, that
know?
is an amazing analogy that you just used. I love that because that's so true. You know what? As women, and I hate saying it, but it's true. we as women, it's like we're almost instilled as a child growing up to hate on the next one or make fun of or put down because
Yeah,
they don't look like us, or they don't wear the same, or they don't do their hair the same, their lashes are longer than mine. Like, it's crazy,
yeah.
like I don't remember us being like that. I think
Mm-mm.
that in our generations, like, shoot, we had a problem. It was, it might have been stupid, but we'd go box, come back, and we're best friends tomorrow. Hey, we get
Yeah.
beat up, you beat me up, I beat you, whatever. Guess what? We get
Yeah.
back up and go eat lunch together. Like, we don't
Yeah.
do that no more.
But
But
that's
again,
because, yeah, because back then we had a sense of loyalty. I mean, nowadays they think they know what loyalty is, but they really don't. But if you look at it, the
eh,
background of it, you know what I'm saying? We get a lot of women or moms they want to be their kids' friends instead of be their parent. So it's kind of like they really don't understand the loyalty. Like if we look back, well, I was a foster kid, but I mean, if I look back on certain homies in my life, that loyalty was there because they always held me down and spoke into my life. You know what I'm saying? And didn't let me fall astray, would always give me to think to make a better choice, even though I was a knucklehead and made the wrong choice.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, man, these kids, they in their head they think loyalty because they hear it in a song or they hear it in a they see it tattooed or what they think they know what it stands for. I mean, but true loyalty is you stand by yours through thick and thin, ups and downs. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
just what it is. You stay loyal to those that are loyal to you, and they don't understand that these days.
Right. I have a saying I tell people all the time: my morals and my beliefs, I don't bend them or break them for nobody.
Same here.
Stand on that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have something you believe in and stand on it firmly, then somebody else is going to come through and tell you whatever they want, and you're going to fall right for it. They can sell
Mhm.
you a dream, they can sell you hope, and they can sell you anything they want to, because you don't know the difference of what you stand for. And
Yeah,
I've heard you say it twice right now, how you keep saying they spoke it into your life. Man, that is so powerful. People don't understand the power of what we speak. If you
yeah,
speak good into someone's life, that's what's gonna happen. You're speaking it out. Our words are power, man. It says it all the time. The tongue is, it could be meant for good or for bad. It could be used to
life or
build or
death.
destroy, to give
Mhm.
life or to kill. And that is
Yep.
so true, what you speak onto others, man. So be careful what you say. Definitely, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
And I did want to ask you, like, who are the women in your life that taught you to be strong? Because you're a pretty strong person.
I think I went to the Victory Outreach Women's Home when I was young. And so my pastor's wife has always been like a real good friend of mine, but like a mother figure for me. And it's kind of like whenever I know I'm going through something, I know that I can lean on her and she's not gonna judge me or she's not gonna look down on me or try to like. There's some people that have them religious beliefs or whatnot, but they don't do it out of love. They do it out of obligation. You know what I'm saying? And she's one of those people. Her name is Pastor Laura Torres, and she's always embraced me. You know what I mean? Even if I haven't been in church in a while and I just pop up, she always clicked, "Oh, my daughter Tina is here,"
Oh,
and she catches up with me or she'll message me and be like, "I love you," and we miss you or whatever, stuff like that. And
yeah.
but she always gives me some good ass advice. And I've been lucky enough to have women in my life that I surround myself with because I keep my circle real tight. But God's put people in my life that I've had friendships with for 20 plus years. But like I
Yeah.
said, we're all accountability partners, man. We lean on each other and we might not agree with each other's decisions that we make, especially in relationships. But at the same time, we're always there to love each other through it,
That's
catch
it
each
right
other when we
there.
fall.
That's it. And what did they teach you that you feel help build the women? Like, for her, for example, what is it that you feel she instilled in you that you didn't know, or she helped you build on of something that was already planted in you to make you the woman that you are today?
I feel like with everything that I have been through in my life, I more had people growing up in the care system. I had the people that were meant to love me and build me as a young girl were all the people that hurt me. So I never really knew how to trust people. I never really knew how to let people love me. I really didn't know how to love myself or to love other people. So it's kind of like the genuineness of the love that she had for me. It helped me through the years to understand that I didn't always have to have my guard up around everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because, I had that little chip on my shoulder, I can't trust no man, can't trust nobody. And,
Yep.
and that's not always true. And sometimes you cut yourself off from relationships that God means to help you, but your back is so against the grain that you miss out on friendships and relationships and good, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I feel like just her example, it wasn't just anything that she said, it was the example she set for me, you know what I mean? So she helped me open my eyes to so much of the way that I thought and the darkness. And my real mom, who's in my life, she's like my best friend, but she's always, you know what I'm saying? Like, now that I'm older, she's there for me, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay to not have it all together when you're young, type of thing, but you never give up on trying to make things right. You know what I mean? And so those are the women that have impacted me the most. And that's the important things that they taught me, that they instilled in me through the years, even though they came at a later time in life. But I feel like the path that I walked was necessary. You know what I mean? To be the woman that I am today, whatever the devil purposed for bad, God turned around for the good. And and that's a blessing in itself. So those two women are my main ones that lead by example.
And you know what? It's crazy because you're right. The pain that we endure and we go through, if we can just see past it and overcome it, what's on the other side is amazing.
Yeah,
You're right. A lot of bad things happen to people, and either they can stay there and be miserable, or they can use it as a crutch the rest of their lives and stay stuck on it and be angry at the world for it and hate all men or hate all women for it. And it's not fair. Like what happened in the last relationship or friendship, it's not to be carried over, man, because you're stealing from yourself,
yeah,
to do something better, or reach a different goal, because you never know, like it could make you grow into someone bigger, better, stronger, and it helps you think and understand, hey man, the world's not perfect, but the fact that your mom is your best friend right now, and this is for a lot of young girls right now to tune in and listen to that, because imagine so many women that their parents have been incarcerated, or their parents got hooked on drugs at a young age. They were young, they didn't make good choices. We've all been there. We all think we know what we're doing at that age. All of us. We're 17, 18. We got it all figured out. You can't tell us nothing,
Yeah.
So for your mom to have endured whatever she was going through at that age and still come back and not give up, to better herself, to come back into your life and be who you need her to be right at this moment, that's the beauty of it right there. That's growth right there. So man, big ups to your mom. That's nice. I love it. I do. I love stories like that, because I myself, I get it. Like I was gone for a long time, from society, and I left a little, maybe almost 2-year-old little boy, and maybe in his life there was days he was like, man, I wish I had my mom, and I wasn't there. So he could have stayed angry, he could have stayed bitter, he could have stayed in that mentality that, nah, you ain't been here. But you know what? Same thing. I never stopped trying. Never, even to right now. And guess what? My kid's a lot like me. So we bump heads sometimes, and ooh-wee. But I have to remember I was there too one time, and I have to like overlook sometimes, and I'm like, man, I'm just blessed to have that same thing your mom, like that's, I'm your mom right now, and in this situation, like I feel like my kid's giving me a second chance for all the mistakes I made as a young kid, so that's a beautiful thing right there. And also,
and that's
go ahead.
No, I was just say that's what's important too with these young women when their relationships don't work out with their children's fathers. Like they always have to realize that you gotta learn to let go of situations that aren't meant for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't work out in a relationship, let that go, but never put your kids in the middle. Never put your kids in the crossfire. Because one thing I never did with my ex-husband was talk about my kids in front of them, or talk bad about him, period. You know what I mean? I would tell them, like, that unforgiveness, dude, will affect your every relationship, your every friendship. Like
It,
it'll root so much in your heart that by the end of it, you're gonna be just a miserable person. I said, one day your dad's gonna get it together. He's gonna want to be a part of your life. And he did when they were like 18, 19. And I always tell them, it doesn't matter how old you were, it's the effort. As long as he's trying now, so what? Like you guys weren't, you did we I raised them, mom and dad, they didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? They were good, they didn't want for nothing. So it was like, you guys were blessed. So it's just, but it takes a strong parent or people to raise a child not to hate, because they're going to learn enough hate and anger in the world with everything they go through and the people situations that are going on in life with racism or incarceration or missing parent. And we have to instill in them to be strong individuals. Like people will come and go in your life, it's a temporary life, you know what I mean? But just hold your own, and that what's meant for you will come back, you know.
yes, man. I love to hear you talk, man. You don't even know, you say such powerful things. I hope everybody listening just catches those freaking golden eggs you steady putting out there, man. Pick them up, put them in your little basket and keep them, because I promise you, these gems you ain't gonna find nowhere else, man. And so just wondering, like, what happened in your life that brought you to this point right now that made you want to speak out and use your platforms of music and social media and everything else that you are able to use your voice in? What exactly pushed you or encouraged you to speak out on these things?
It's kind of funny because when I was I had got, I used to sell a lot of dope. So I got hit one time. And I remember the sheriff would always drive by, and he was gang unit sheriff, and he used to always tell me, "What are you doing, Loquita?" Like, I'm doing that on my time. Don't be doing that on my time. Like, I don't care what you do on my time, because I don't want to have to arrest you. So I ended up getting hit. And he saw me in the freezer, well, like in the, waiting to see the judge. And he's just like, "What? I told you." So anyways, they ended up, the CPS ended up coming and picking up my kids, even though they didn't find no dope or nothing. It was kind of like CPS had placed them with my ex-in-laws, my kids. And that hurt me because I was a foster kid, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, without my kids, I was broken. So I cried, and I went through some deep depression. And one day he was like, "You know what? Why is it?" He goes, "Why are you so bad?" Like, he goes, there's so much good that you could be doing in people's lives, but you choose to be out here. He goes, "Why don't you be a mentor, like for the youth?" And I was like, I was like, I'm not gonna go talk to no kids, fool. They're gonna be, they don't want to hear what I gotta say. You know what I mean? They might be knuckleheads like me, like, shut up. But no, he took me to go speak at a school, and I spoke at a high school, and that was the first time I ever spoke in public towards anything like positive,
Yeah.
and just the reaction, the overwhelming of love and support from the kids afterwards came meeting me and whatnot. And one little girl pulled me to the side, a little rocker girl. And I was the least person, type of person I thought would listen, But she put me to the side and she goes, I was gonna commit suicide after school.
Man.
You know what I mean? And me personally, like, that's something that I struggle with my whole life, So that hit me. And I was like, dang, like, there is power in words, and I was like, I want to do this. This is something I want to do. Like, I want to be able to help kids that were lost like I was, like that are hurting, that feel like they have nothing better for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, no support, no love. And I want to be that person for them. If I could change one life or touch one heart, like, it's worth it for me. All my pain was worth it in the end, you know what I mean? To keep the next kid from breaking. And so from then on, it just set out, and I just started getting an offer to go back into the penitentiaries. My ex-husband is a lifer, so he got me into Kairos, and then I ended up becoming the chairperson for Kairos Outside for the Central Texas region. And then I started going in with Darkness to Light Ministries out of Waco. I started going in with Worldwide Voices in the Wilderness with Johnny and Betty Moffett, doing marriage seminars. So yeah, I just started making all these right connections, and it was kind of like, once I aligned myself with my purpose of where God needed me to be, that's when I was like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So music wise, when I started doing music, I'm like, okay, the music is cool, but it's more like my therapy. So I was like, you know what though? There's so many kids that look up to artists. So I'm gonna use this to be able to go into other places and be able to impact the youth and
Yes.
use my story to help them. But the music will be my foot in the door. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Hold on, let me switch this blind real quick. Yeah, so that's kind of what it was for me. And just after that, it's just I kind of felt, because I always was creased up and always chola out, and I would see these little girls that I was glamorizing that lifestyle. So even on Halloween, my homeboy's daughter, she won I think second place in a costume contest, but she was being me for Halloween. So I used to have a
Right
teardrop
on.
tattoo. So she had a teardrop, khaki shorts, and all this. And I was like, dang, like, I don't want girls to think I'm glamorizing this lifestyle, because this is a jacked up ass lifestyle, and my kids started feeling like, Mom, you come to our school and all our kids, all our friends think my mom's a gangster. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to step back and take that into consideration. Like, you know what, it's time to grow up, and I'm about my kids. Everything is about my kids. So I just started changing the way I dressed and things like that. And I wanted to show girls, you ain't gotta be, dressing like that to be somebody or stuff like that, just like being a gangster ain't nothing, ain't nothing nice. There's no future in that.
No. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was faithful and loyal to them Dickies and G Nikes, man, back in my day.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. And I
Yeah.
remember my oldest niece, she tried to do it too and ended up in some issues. And I'm like, baby, you're not me. You can't do what I do. I live this life. I don't just look like
Yeah.
it. And you're right. They want to be us. They want to look like this. They want to dress like this. They want to act like this. But that life's not for everybody, man. And it's not an easy life to
Yeah.
live either. And man, I do see that a lot now, especially like with Raza, like they want to look like cholas, and they want to wear the Charlie Brown shirts
It's
and
a fashion fad
this.
now.
And I'm like, man, y'all don't even know, y'all don't
Yeah.
even know how hard it was to earn those clothes, to be
Yes.
able to dress like that. Not just because I could go buy it off of Amazon, you know.
Or
it was
watch YouTube and try to learn how to walk, talk, stand. Yeah. It's
Yeah, man,
crazy.
it's crazy but it's it's a culture for us, but
Yeah.
in all actuality, it's part of who we were back then. That was a real lifestyle. That's crazy, but I did it too. I had to go through the transition, and man, it wasn't easy because that's all I wanted to wear was Dickies. That's it. But with
Yep.
your music and your platforms and everybody that follows you, like, what is your main goal? Like, is it women? Is it youth? Like, who are you trying to like reach right now? Like, what's your pinpoint?
It's kind of everybody. Like how Tupac said, I might not be able to change the world, but I'll spark the mind of the person that will, you know what I mean? I'll spark the mind of somebody that will. So it's kind of like, no matter what, I'm real big on picking up people like up and coming rappers or young people that are entrepreneurs or young people that want to do something with their lives, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like these young people, this is our future generation. And if we're consistently pushing them down, like they're never gonna want to stand up in a rightful manner. They're gonna always rebel, you know what I mean, against what right is right, wrong is wrong. So it's kind of like I'm real quick to speak into those kids and give them a hand up. Like they say, never look down on people unless you're giving somebody a hand up.
Mm.
So pretty much that's what I do. Like with my platform, it's like as long as you're on the right path, I'm always down to help somebody that's trying to do good. You know what I mean? But I've had artists that I work with that are they still want to be in the streets. They still want to be, hustling dope. And I'm like, dude, understand that I could help you make a name and build you up, put you in the studio. But if you want to still be in the streets, like understand rappers get killed. You know what I mean? It's that you can't be up here and want to be rapping and going everywhere that you want and thinking that there's no consequences to that, because now everybody knows where you're at all the time. Flyers, you know what I mean? You have to promote yourself. And
Yes.
and two, anytime you get locked up, when you start out doing music or something, you come out and it's like you got to start all over again. So it's like wasted time. And that's all prison really is for us, is wasted time. We wasted time. And I feel like I want to be able to, with young girls, I feel like somewhere down the line, self-respect was lost.
Oof.
You know, this has become a generation where views, likes, and attention are everything. And these young girls are willing to give all their sexuality for some views, some likes, and attention. And I feel like this year, this has been my big thing, is especially being an artist, because there's not a lot of us women that haven't had surgery, or, you know what I'm saying, aren't out here with naked girls, practically naked girls in our videos, or we're not out here half naked, you know. And am I going against the grain? Yes. In the music game, I feel like that's why it's taken me a lot longer than other people. But I feel like I've always stayed true to myself. And I feel like that's what's more important to me, self-respect.
Yes.
And these young girls, I want to be able to speak into them like, dude, you're more than a body. You're more than what's between your legs. You're more than your chest. You're more than your pretty face. You know what I'm saying? To have people respect your mind and your talent and your heart over anything else, because that's life lasting, that's long lasting, and nobody can take your self-respect from you. But when you're just out there, you know what I'm saying, selling out your sexuality, it's like these young girls are seeing this and they're getting bullied because they're not doing it, and because they don't look like that. And instead it's like, if you're chubby, if you're fat, if you're skinny like a pole, if you're thick, if you don't got no butt, like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? What really matters is in here, because you can be the most put together person, Barbie looking person, and still have a crappy mentality, a crappy personality. You know what I mean? And you can put all the makeup on in the world, and it's not gonna change who you are inside. You know what I mean? And what flows from the heart, you know what I'm saying? What spews out of the mouth flows from the heart. So it's kind of like, that's my big thing, man. This you're just teaching everybody, like, be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't change anything about yourself to be liked. Stay true to yourself. Stay as weird as you want to be. Like, we were never meant to, we were all meant to be leaders. We weren't meant to follow the lead. But once you start doing what everybody else is doing, you become a copycat version. You become a carbon copy, and you're no longer original. So
Yep.
that's my main thing with people, whether you're older, whether you're younger, like, you know, just love yourself, man. So, because I feel like if you're not true to who you are, it's kind of like you're not allowing, you're taking away from what God is supposed to get from you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like your purpose is your purpose, but you change anything about your purpose or your direction, then you're undermining the whole point of who you are. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. And I'm telling you, I just love listening to you just, man, spit gems. These girls don't even know. Like, I wish that, like, along the lines somewhere, that, like, maybe somebody tuning in can really, like, connect, you know, and just really, like, give feedback and be like, hey, you know what, this is what's making a difference right now to me. And then share that with someone your age, share that with a cousin, share that with this friend, and then that friend share that, you know, because that's the only way we're gonna move, man. That's the only way it's gonna happen. And to every person that's listening, because it's not just women that tune into the show to listen to you or your music or your platforms or even my platforms. It's more than just women. So this is not just for women, because this is for the men too. The men don't realize how important they are in young girls' lives right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they don't understand that. Like, y'all need to step it up too, guys. You know what I'm saying? And step up and encourage women, put it in there in their minds that, hey, you're better than that. Hey, cover up, you know, make them work for that, earn that. Don't just give it away for free. You know, no. I was looking at something the other day, and they were showing how beautiful model like girl here in Houston got killed from somebody that was stalking her on her, I think it was TikTok, right? They were stalking her, and she got killed for no reason. No reason at all, because she was showing where she lived, showing where she drives, showing where she's at. Man, you don't know. You don't know all these crazy people out. You can't tell your whole life, you know, to everybody. Keep something private. And if you showing off your body for free on the internet, they think it's okay to approach you in that manner, you know? No, you gotta respect you, and everybody else will respect you, you know? But to the women specifically, because right now we're working on women empowerment, what do you want to say to the women, not the young girls, not whatever, but the women, the grown women that are listening to right now, to us? What do you want to say to them?
For the older women or the grown women, I just want to say that, we need to take it back. We need to stop trying to be, somewhere along the line, we stopped taking lead and we started following suit of the younger women. You know what I'm saying? So there's nobody really out there that wants to step up and be like, oh, this is right because it's 2022. Doesn't matter. I mean, tomorrow, next year is 2023. What matters is what we're doing, because we're either a part of the problem, or we're the solution. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own choice. But as moms, man, I have 3 daughters and 3 granddaughters. And it's like some of the stuff I see online with grown women, I'm like really uncomfortable, like uneasy about it, because I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, anything that you put online, whether you delete it or not, it's always gonna be there. Like, so one day when your kid's older, their friends are gonna be seeing their mom represent themselves like that, or start lusting after their friends' moms, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's embarrassing for the kids. You know what I'm saying? There's this, I understand older people wanna feel young or act young nowadays and all that crap, but come on, man. Like, honestly, where did we stop caring about being parents? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, we can't sit around and say we care about the youth, but we're not doing nothing to help them. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing nothing for your child if you're giving them everything they want and letting them do whatever they want. And the end of the day, you're hurting them because you're not teaching them to be responsible. You're not teaching them how to have self-discipline. You're not teaching them important values in life that are going to affect them later on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like nothing in this life is given free. And this is a generation where everybody gets famous from just views and likes online. And that's how nobody wants to work for anything anymore. You know what I mean? Everybody wants the easy way, like, oh, let me try to get famous. So, by doing this, so I don't have to work. But damn, you know what I'm saying? There's people, especially if you're Hispanic, our families, the majority of us have family members that came across the border and busted their ass to get here in this country to give us better lives. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, we have to respect that. You know what I mean? We're a working people. Hispanics have always been known that we're hard workers. And nowadays, this generation is being looked at like, oh, lazy ass Mexicans. We've never been known to be lazy.
Never.
And not ever until this generation. And it sucks, because it's like, do something with your life, because life is like this. You know what I mean? Especially these days, life goes by so fast. By the time you know it, you're going to be 30, 40 years old and you haven't accomplished shit because you were too busy partying your life away. And, and then you're going to look back on your kids like, oh, why are they all messed up? And well, you sincerely have to step back and look at yourself. Like, was I out partying more than I was home with my kids? Or did I ever make my kids feel like a priority? Or our daughters that end up in abusive relationships, like, what is she trying to find in that person that she felt like she didn't get from me? Because I was a single mom. I was mom and dad, but my kids, I loved them enough. They were on the road with me. They were on tour with me. They grew up in the studio. Like, I had opportunities where I could have been like, oh, hey, watch my kids while I go sign this record contract. But I wanted to make sure my kids knew that they were my priority. Everything I did was for them, not the other way around. You know what I mean? Nothing was more important to me than them. And I think that when we choose to lay down and have sex with somebody and start having kids, like, it's time to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Your happiness, or what it is that you wanted to do with your life, those choices have to be put on the back burner for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Because of the choices you made. So I feel like women need to step the game up. Even if you're a tia, even if you're a grandma, like, we got grandmas in the clubs partying with their granddaughters and fighting with their granddaughters, and people think that's cool. That is not cool. And you guys are making this la tóxica a thing. And that should never be a thing. That is not even cute. Like, ladies,
please say that. Please,
we gotta do better.
I don't know who said that was cute. I don't know who said that was okay. That is not good. Like, it's not funny. It's not a trend. Like, that's insulting. to you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I think I seen bumper, a bumper sticker the other day. My daughter's a toxica. I was like, and you're
Yeah.
proud to say that about your own daughter? I'm confused. That's not cute.
Exactly.
It's not cute,
Yep.
man. But that's what the norm is. That's what's accepted socially. And instead of somebody saying, don't call yourself that, that's not cute. You know, it's not cute. It's
Yeah.
not. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's saying that. Everybody's like, oh, that's cute. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, it's not, man. That's an insult. Now,
Yeah.
imagine our great grandparents. If somebody would have told them that, oh, it wouldn't have went good. I know that.
Yeah.
But
And I think too that has a big part because a lot of the parents don't have relationships with their parents. You know what I'm saying? So that grandparent, grandfather, in the kid's life, the influence isn't there as tough as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? And they were the ones instilling them hardcore morals and values, and you know, the women all of a sudden got to a point where they're like, "Ooh, I'm free, like do what I want, I'm gonna raise my kids how I want," type of thing.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
And I think that's another reason why our language is being lost right now. You know, kids are embarrassed
Oh
to speak Spanish. I was like,
yeah.
what? No, that's a part of who you are, where your people come from. Be
Yeah.
proud of that, you know? Don't let them steal that from you.
Yeah.
No, don't ever let nobody make you feel ashamed of where your bloodline comes from, because when that's lost, then
Yeah.
what happens? We can't do
Yeah.
that. Not as a culture, not as a race, not as anything. We cannot allow
Yeah.
that. But one more thing I did want to talk to you about is, how important do you think is that, like, for example, me and you right now, how is it that we
Mhm.
can continue to build a community that makes connections with strong women, other strong women, and that we can empower and encourage more women? Like, how is it that we can go about that, you know? Because right now we're talking and it's just me and you, and I might know this lady, you might know that lady, and we might be able to do it. But what is the next step that you think that we should take as a group, you know, each individually? What can we do to build a stronger community for women and for young girls to look up to be able to reach out? What can we do? What do you suggest?
I think it's just all networking and links. You know what I'm saying? Linking up with other women. Like I pay attention to everybody, like online, like people on TikTok. It doesn't matter how many followers I get a day. I go and look at their stuff and like, oh, okay, and I'll like their stuff, or I'll, you know, feed into them other women.
Mhm.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Those types of women, they will also, we all feed into each other, feed off of each other, you know what I mean? Like build each other up, promote each other, whatever. If you know another woman that has a business or has something going on in her life, like help promote her, you know what I'm saying? Link
Yeah.
up and just build stronger connections from state to state, city to city, country to country. And you know, I think that us as women need to never be scared to step up and stand out, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing. A lot of women, like, don't be scared to be different, you know what I'm saying? Go against the grain, you know. And um, I think that we need to continue making ourselves available to these young women, whether it's online, because I'm pretty sure you've got young girls online that have hit you up like, hey, your story really impacted me, you know? And it's the same thing as an artist too. I get that a lot, and I'm like, okay, and I stay in touch with them and I stay in sync with them, and through the years, I'll, you know, behind the scenes, I'm just like, hey, how you doing? You know, checking on each other, being accountable to each other. And I think that's really what it is. Even when I see a woman that's like on TikTok or whatever, like she's depressed, or she's, you know, you see the post, or even guys too. I
Yeah.
reach out, like not online, because I don't care. I'm not there to be seen, like, but their inbox. Are you all right? Is everything okay? And you know, and we need to be more aware. Like I kind of wake up in the day and ask God, you know, help me to see the need around me, but also help me to feel the need. You know what I'm saying? Give me the strength to feel the need, whether it's the right words to say, or what is it in my heart that I can do? I'm gonna have compassion, you know. It's
Yeah.
really what it is, just as women.
Yeah.
We're meant to embrace and love, and somewhere we lost that, and all women are trying to be like men nowadays, and we're meant to be like men. You know what I'm saying? We were meant to be softer creatures, and that doesn't make us less strong. Our strength is just in a different area, you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
True. That's facts right there, man. Because think about it. Women give life, women give birth to another human being. Like men don't do that, women do. And even
Yeah,
though we cry, we have emotions or whatever, that's okay. That's a filter. It's okay to cry. It's okay to do things that, make you emotional. That's fine. Feel, because that's what
yeah,
makes you a better parent. That's what makes you a better spouse, a better person to encourage, because you let those feelings flow. Just don't
right.
stay there if they're not positive. If they're negative, let them flow, man. Let it go. But I feel like women forget their power, and it's not in your sexuality. That's not what makes
Yeah,
you have power. No,
yeah,
this right here, man, your heart and your mind. If you connect those two, there's no way to lose,
definitely.
because it's going to be positive. Everything you put out is good because it's
Yeah.
connected, and usually I close with a quote or a scripture or a poem or something. But today I wanted to see if you would, do the honors.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, one thing that I always tell people, that to always remember that everything in this life is temporary. That, we're all on borrowed time. So everything, everybody that crosses our path is temporary. So remember that when people fall off your team, that's a temporary pain. That's a temporary emotion you're gonna feel. And when you're going through situations or circumstances where you feel like, what am I doing? Like, I can't take life no more. Like, I don't want to live no more. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Like, God, why am I here? Like, understand that that situation you're going through is also temporary, and things will always get greater later. You know what I'm saying? And we might not, in the midst of a storm, if we focus on the storm that's around us, that's where we end up getting caught up in our emotions. And we got to remember, we have to keep our eye past the storm, on the victory past the storm, and realize that things will get greater later. And we were never meant to, it's like every day is us trudging up a hill. Like, life is just us trudging up a hill. And God didn't ever ask us to just stop moving. God asked us to consistently keep moving. It doesn't matter if you're crawling. Sometimes there's days where you're gonna crawl up the hill, but you're still moving.
Yes.
Because if you remain in one situation, caught in that emotion, you become stagnant. And
Mm.
once you become stagnant, you get a stench. And that stench will affect your every relationship, your friendship, your life, the opportunities around you. It'll blind you,
Yeah.
So just keep moving forward in life, trudging up that hill, and just know that eventually everything's gonna flow.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much for that
Hey,
wisdom,
you're
that
welcome.
knowledge that you dropping. And I've had a blast having you on the show. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
so much, like your
Thank you for
participation and
having me.
just sharing, what I'm saying, your mind with us, your heart with us, because it's beautiful, man. I'm telling you, since the first time I heard you speak, I was like, man, I wish more women would open up and do the same thing, because it's so powerful what you say. I really hope that more people tune in and listen to you speak, because man, I'm telling you, there's no way that you can't grow from that. And also, before we
Thank you.
go, I wanted you to share about the thing that's going on in San Antonio this next coming weekend.
Oh, okay. So shout out to my boy Tommy Acosta, who has a program called Homies United Network. And what that is, it benefits it's council members, it's ex-convicts, it's people fighting for the rights of convicts incarcerated or ex-convicts out of prison. Because if you're in Texas, you know that we're one of the states with the harshest laws,
Whew.
and we're trying to fight against that, and we're trying to fight against just the situations in the prisons, the things that go on in the prisons, the lack of things that should be going on in the prisons. The system is broken. We're not really rehabilitating inmates anymore. It's just become like a legal moment of slavery. You know what I mean? We got to build these inmates up to let
Yes.
them come out and learn how to be productive members of society. But that should start inside. But also outside, we have programs where we'll help ex-convicts like myself, like yourself, touch in with the right people to be able to better yourself or get the means that you need to be able to make it out here, whether it's IDs, socials, birth certificates. Like me, myself, when I came out of prison, I had nothing but the clothes on my back. I didn't have family here in Texas. So it's kind of like those people, they need a support system. And so with the Homies United Network, that's what we're trying to be, a system for people when they come out of prison and still fighting for the rights of people that are lost in the system. So on March 19th is when it's all going down. And so it doesn't have to be just ex-convicts that are involved in it. It's kind of like something for everybody that feels like, let's stand together and let's fight for this cause, because they ain't nobody gonna, if not us, then who? You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna fight for an ex-convict that's in behind walls more than us ex-convicts, you know? So this is where it's our time to stand up and take a stand and march, you know, with the other fellow ex-convicts and other people that even if you've been affected by incarceration, whether you're a wife, a child, a grandparent, a parent, like, you're more than welcome to come out and be a part too. You can look it up on Facebook, formerly Incarcerated March. It's on there, or any of my online pages. And I don't know if you shared it on yours.
I did.
Or I tagged you to it, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, so I mean, by all means, man, if you guys want to take a stand with us, March 19th is that day.
I'm hoping I'm trying to work around it, because I'm hoping I can make my way down there, because I definitely, man, that's a cause close and near and dear to my heart. So y'all listening, y'all from San Antonio, go show love and support. And if you're not, come down there. I'm friends with a lot of ex-cons. Y'all better go down there and show some love, man. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it starts. The change starts when we stand together, man. For anything that we stand, we have to stand together. It's got to start somewhere. And this is beautiful right here that, you know, y'all guys are doing that. I love that. But once again, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hope that, you know, you come back another day, because you said some really interesting things right now about, you know, being incarcerated is like slavery. Yes. Oh man, I could talk for hours on that too.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know, I hope you come back soon, maybe, you know, on the next season for something, because I love to, you know, hear you talk, man. The positivity and the knowledge and the wisdom, for real. You know, blessings to you and yours. And once again, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good rest of your day, and y'all stay tuned, because it's gonna keep going down in these interviews. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.